Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the world of Thetis. I'm so glad you're with me. I sort of feel like last episode, I ended the episode in sort of like halfway through a quest. I really don't like doing that, but the quest was just never ending, and so I had to stop at some point, and the episode was getting kind of long. So I'm going to pick up where we left off. We were actually trying to complete the Wayward Son quest, and I need to go to a slaver in Darktown. So let's go to Darktown to see if we can find Danzig. Okay, here we are in Darktown, and there's actually a lot going on here. We've got stuff. There's Wayward Son. This is Tomwise, and this is Tranquility. So there's actually quite a bit going on here in Darktown.
Thank you very much for the help earlier,
I don't know
Varric.
much about Tomwise.
Tomwise?
Huh? Oh, Hawk. Haven't seen you since we did that job together for Athenril. Been a while. Heard you're going on some expedition into the deep roads. And right into Darkspawn territory. Sure that's wise?
We can't all make a living in the Undercity.
Just watch your back. That's all I'm saying. Say, you still in the market for some poisons? Athenril's scarce these days. And the coterie have their own mixers. You find any rare reagents and want me to whip you up something, just let me know. In fact, since you're an old friend, here's a recipe. My speciality. Everyone needs an edge sometimes, right?
Alright, so debilitating poisons. So I can get poisons and grenades here. I have this complicated relationship with poisons. Like, I don't understand them or how to use them. But here, I'll take a few. And maybe at some point I'll actually use a poison. I don't know. But let's go down here. This is the Wayward Son quest I believe I'm supposed to be doing. So I think we need to go this direction.
Be careful!
Oh man, abandoned mining tunnel.
I can't move!
Oh, there's Deathroot. I don't know if I've ever seen Deathroot before. Deathroot has been used in magic and potion making for centuries. It's a fragile-looking plant with a thin stalk and purple flowers, which fruits once a year, developing bright red fleshy pods that cause disorientation and dizziness if ingested. There are two varieties. The more common Arcanist Deathroot was first found by Archon Hadrianus when he discovered it growing on several dead slaves. The other, Lunatic's Deathroot, is most closely associated with the story of the courtesan Melusine, who sought revenge on a powerful magister and his family. She harvested the plant, baked it into small pies for the magister's banquet, and presented them to the magister at a banquet. All the guests were seized by terrifying hallucinations after eating the pies and tore each other into pieces. An excerpt from the Botanical Compendium by Ines Arancia, botanist. Jesus. So this plant can cause hallucinations and is incredibly dangerous to ingest. So stay away from the Deathroot. We've read all of those. There was a lot of items that I haven't read. But Abominations, we saw that last episode. Let's just read that really quickly. We arrived in the dead of night. We had been tracking the Maleficar for days and finally had him cornered, and so we thought. As we approached, a home on the edge of the town exploded, sending splinters of wood and fist-sized chunks of rock into our ranks. We had but moments to regroup before fire rained from the sky, the sounds of destruction wrapped in a hideous laughter from the center of the village. There, perched atop the spire of the village chantry, stood the mage, but he was human no longer. We shouted prayers to the Maker and deflected what magic we could, but as we fought, the creature fought harder. I saw my comrades fall, burned by the flaming sky or crushed by debris. The monstrous creature, looking as if a demon were wearing a man like a twisted suit of skin, spotted me and grinned. We had forced it to this, I realized. The mage had made this pact. given himself over to the demons to survive our assault. Transcribed from a tale told by a former Templar in Cumberland, 8th 84 Blessed. It is known that mages are able to walk the Fade while completely aware of their surroundings, unlike most others who may only enter the realm as dreamers and leave it scarcely aware of their experience. Demons are drawn to mages, though whether it is because of this awareness or simply by virtue of their magical power in our world is unknown. Regardless of the reason, a demon always attempts to possess a mage when it encounters one, by force or by making some kind of deal, depending on the strength of the mage. Should the demon get the upper hand, the result is an unholy union known as an abomination. Abominations have been responsible for some of the worst cataclysms in history, and the notion that some mage in a remote tower could turn into such a creature, unbeknownst to any, was the driving force behind the creation of the Circle of Magi. Thankfully, abominations are rare. The Circle has methods for weeding out those who are too at risk for demonic possession, and scant few mages would give up their free will to submit to such a bond with a demon. But once an abomination is created, it will do its best to create more, considering that entire squads of Templars have been known to fall at the hands of a single abomination. It is not surprising that the Chantry takes the business of the Circle of Magi very serious indeed. Very interesting. And then one last one, we have Arcane Horror. Upon ascending to the second floor of the tower, we were greeted by a gruesome sight, a ragged collection of bones wearing the robes of one of the senior enchanters. I had known her for years, watched her raise countless apprentices, and now she was a mere puppet for some demon. Transcribed from a tale told by a Templar in Antova City, 713 Storm. Demons, of course, have no form in our world. When they enter either where the veil is particularly thin or through blood magic summoning, they must take possession of a body. When a pride demon takes control of the corpse of a mage, an arcane horror is born. Although they appear to be little more than bones, these are fierce creatures, possessing not only all the spellcasting abilities of a living mage, but also the capacity to heal and even command other animated corpses. Boy, those are some really, gross things. I'm glad that we're able to read that next to this little fire, just to enjoy the fire there. But I know that it is really depressing here, as you can see, all of these people living in the slums, essentially, these poor folk. But we must continue. I believe we have business here. Danzig.
Why, look here, boys. Volunteers. Clap 'em in irons and let's see what the Tevinters will pay for 'em.
Answer my questions, and I won't trouble you about this little operation.
You die now, there won't be any trouble at all. Shut this buck up.
Oh god, okay, here we go. Let's take a fight to him. I'm not doing a good job of fighting. But my party is. Oh my god! As soon as he lowered his shield, he got decimated. Wow, did you guys see that?
I'm stuck. Crash there.
He had his shield up, and as soon as it dropped, he got destroyed.
Well done, everyone.
Wow, he got
Here
really
that shows where
destroyed.
he shipped Fainriel.
Search the slavers' bodies for clues to where they sent Fainriel. Map to the Wounded Coast.
Looks like they took him to some bolt hole in the Wounded Coast.
From a cave in the Wounded Coast. Okay, so there's a cave in the Wounded Host that I need to go to. Let's get out of here. So I need to find out where the Wounded Coast is. Ah, here it is. So let's go to the Wounded Coast. Okay, so there's a low road and a high road. I don't know which road is the road I'm supposed to take, but I'll go high. Just...
On your guard!
Oh, God.
I'll kill you!
Void, take you!
The danger is past. Are you all right?
No thanks to this lot, can't get a decent blade at a bargain anymore. You, though, you're what a man needs. A skilled enthusiast.
You can start making sense any time now.
My manners. Javaris Tintop, merchant and investor. I need forward thinkers to help court the Qunari.
Court the Qunari? Make her think of the children.
Those hornheads in Kirkwall have a powder that explodes, and it's just dust. No lyrium, no demons. Anyone can use it.
I often look at every second idiot and think, he needs more power.
So it's some kind of Qunari magic. What use is that to a dwarf?
If it is magic, it's a kind you can assemble, and dwarves do that very well. But that Arishok, he won't deal. Said I have the same mercenary disease as their outcasts, the Tal-Vashoth. He says I'm not worthy, but he had this look in his eyes, so I figure I'll hire some blades and...
And you're going to prove yourself by killing Tal-Vashoth outlaws.
Problem being, I'm no warrior, but I can pay.
Your people must have something like that already.
Small things, shaped to crack faults, not shatter the earth. Plus, they're mostly lyrium. Expensive, poisonous, the chantry controls it topside, the glow makes you a target. Problem after problem.
What's the point, when we already have magic that can do the same thing?
Maybe
Yeah, that's a
you
good
have
point.
magic, all tough and human and whatnot. But what of the common man? How does he remove stumps from his land, or produce them on his enemies? What does he do when he needs a hole far too fast? Magic is hard to market. But this stuff you can put in a bag.
All right, I'll step in for you. For a price.
I'm done bargain hunting, I want it done right. Now, best I could figure, they're up the Wounded Coast, a whole camp. Take their heads off and meet me at the compound in Kirkwall. Get this right, and we'll be richly rewarded. Richly.
Okay. Tal-Vashoth. Yeah, I'm wondering, who the heck is Tal-Vashoth? What is that? Being lost in an ancient Tevinter ruin in northern Ravane is highly overrated. And then I found myself beset by several bands of Qunari, apparently working in concert. I fled and managed to hide in a little village by the name of Vindear. The people there, mostly humans and a few elves, were devout followers of the Qun. It was the most organized village I ever laid eyes on. The houses were identical and arranged along perfectly orthogonal lines. The fields were well tended and apparently communal. But there were signs of damage everywhere, as if the town had suffered repeated sieges, buildings shattered, fields burned, and a great many empty houses. I spent the night in the home of Vindar's matriarch, who introduced herself only as Seer. When I tried to regale my hostess with the tale of my Qunari assailants, I discovered something. Qunari, Seer said, are people who follow the Qun, her people. Those born into Qunari society who reject the Qun are called Vashoth, which means gray ones. Okay, so let me get this right. So Qunari worship Qun. And if you're not following the Qun, if you're not following the Qun, then you're called Vashoth, or gray ones. These gray ones must leave their homes, for they have no place among the Qunari. Sadly, many turn against the society that cast them out. I mean, it sort of almost sounds similar to the outcasts of dwarven culture. The ones that, get sent to the surface, that get banned, for similar reason. Not exactly Not because of worshipping the Kun, but because, maybe they did something terrible or something. These outcasts call themselves Tal-Vashoth, the true Grey Ones. Often they have no skills to make an honest living, so they sell themselves into service, usually becoming mercenaries. Even the most inept fighters among the Qunari races possess prodigious size and an intimidating visage. These, she informed me, were my attackers in the countryside, the same band that wreaked such havoc on Vindear. The Tal-Vashoth wage a bitter war against the Kun, the Qunari, and sometimes against the Order itself. They are no match for the Qunari army, so they generally strike at farms, travelers, and those who stray too far from Qunari protection. I was lucky to escape with my life. Wow, so Brother Genetivi actually got attacked by one of these things. Very interesting. What is this? Embrium. Embriums are flowers from the orchid family. Its therapeutic qualities were actually discovered because the embrium's exceptional beauty. The beloved daughters of Lord Ignace Poulens, that's a very difficult one to read, of Orleans fell victim to a terrible sickness of the lungs, which her healers were unable to cure. Thinking the girl would soon perish, her parents surrounded her bed with brightly colored flowers, hoping that they would bring some warmth and cheer in her last days. Oddly enough, the girl began to recover from the illness and grew stronger each day. Her parents were baffled but overjoyed. The healers eventually learned that the fragrance of one of the flowers eased the child's breathing. The flower was an embrium, and later became known as the salubrious embrium. The other variant that has certain magical properties is known as dark embrium. An excerpt from the Botanical Compendium by Inus Herencia Botanist. Oh, okay. Black powder promise. So this is a separate rumor here. Dwarven merchant named Jarvis has been offering a lot of coin for muscle. Finding out exactly where Jarvis is, however, seems to be a problem. But let's continue back to the Wayward Son that we're supposed to be working on. Rescue Finn Harrell from a cave on the Wounded Coast. So we got to keep going. And
so there's no circle among the Dalish?
Any child with the gift of magic is apprenticed to a keeper. In another clan if there's no need in our own.
That sounds nice.
Magic is a gift of the creators. Why wouldn't we use it? It just seems wasteful for humans to lock their mages away where they can't do any good.
But you are a blood mage.
She is a blood mage, which are known to be not great people. So we need to go here, the Slaver Caverns.
Let's see what you're made of.
Oh wow, it's the Tal-Vashoth. This is the first time I've fought a Qunari. Wow. Oh. Wow, look at that beautiful, beautiful sky though. That's gorgeous. Wow, that's really pretty.
Do you even know her name, Shem? No? It's Delilah. She's dead. And you killed her.
What's going on here?
I was a beast then. A werewolf. I did many terrible things.
One of the werewolves.
I'm sorry.
Sorry does not bring my mother back.
I was a victim too, Elf. Of Zathrian's vengeance. Stranger, please calm her down.
Oh, yeah.
Did I hear you right? You're a werewolf?
I was one, but no longer. Her Dalish keeper cursed some humans with lycanthropy long ago.
I remember this. This was an origin.
The disease spread over the years. But the hero of Ferelden freed us.
He was cursed. You can't blame him for that.
You stand up for him? Fine. Then you will die for him.
Oh god. I have sympathy because...
The dance will never
Wow.
It didn't have to come to this. Take this. And thanks.
What did I get? I received a sovereign and 50. Well, I have sympathy for the werewolves that, specifically those werewolves that had come under that spell from, I think, Zathrian, he said. I remember from Dragon Age Origins curing them of the werewolf lycanthropy that had occurred. I love seeing that, you know, happen and move into other games. Like, so now Dragon Age 2 is picking up on where that story left off. That's just, I really love seeing that. It kind of is a small reward for playing Origins. You kind of get to see something you remember from back then. This appears to be the Slaver Caverns. Did I just pick up a really cool axe? That looked like a cool axe. Okay, but it's not that good, but... Okay, let's go into the caverns. Spindleweed. It is an old country saying that spindleweed grows best for the sorrowful. Verdant spindleweed in a household's garden has often brought neighbors offering consolation, usually without even asking what might be wrong. This originates from the plant's use as a seasoning for dishes meant to speed the recovery of the infirm. A person who grows much of it is likely caring for the fatally ill. An excerpt from the Botanical Compendium by Ines Arencia, botanist. Absolutely, Spindleweed and Embrium. We've read those. But yeah, we have to go down deep into here.
Watch out!
Alright, let's take him out.
I got one!
have mercy!
That'll teach you.
Oh, he disappeared.
It's done!
Whew. I think we're finally going to be finding him soon, hopefully.
Take one more step, and the boy dies.
Ah, finally, there he is.
Tell this dirtbag who we are.
If I were you, I wouldn't be threatening the Viscount's son.
What?
Oh, I suppose you just got a tip from a slaver that he was selling mage flesh cheap. You never thought to ask where he got it? You never wondered if you were buying the Viscount's well-known love child from his elven mistress. The boy he swore to protect, even if it meant raising the entire Free Marches?
I seek no war with the Free Marches. Take the lad to his father.
Hand him over then, if you're serious.
This was the price set on the boy. Please accept it as an offer of peace.
Wow. Oh god, that went so much better. Again, every time.
Are you working for the Templars?
Your mother sent me.
Huh. Hardly a difference. I can't believe her. My whole life it was all, I'll love you and protect you. Then I have some bad dreams and it's off to the Templars.
I'm here to help you, Fenriel.
Why? You don't even know me.
I've spent my whole life protecting my sister from exactly what you fear.
Is there any chance you'd help me reach the Dalish? That's where I was trying to go. See if they'd take me in. I'm as much Dalish as human.
You'd be alone among the Dalish. Even more than a Dalish would be here.
Compared to being held prisoner, or made tranquil, I'll risk being lonely. Look, I know it's different in other kingdoms, but here, no one helps circle mages. Anything the Templars don't like, you get the brand. The Dalish, they've had magic forever. They could teach me. I won't be a danger, I swear.
It will be your humanity that marks you among the people, not your magic. But I think they will take you.
Do you think they would have me?
Was your mother right? Are you plagued by demons already?
I can't say for sure. I have dreams. There are voices in the dreams. They ask me to come, to give shape to the void around them. But the Dalish Keeper is wise. If anyone can help, she can.
I know the Keeper. I'll make sure she takes you in.
Then she does not hate humans. Oh, you don't know what a relief that is. I knew she could help me. Thank the creators, you were the one my mother hired to find me. I will forever be in your debt, friend.
I think it's great for him to...
We should tell his mother. She'll want to know he's alive.
Absolutely. I think it's great to give him, let him go toward the, you know, with the Dalish. If that's what he wants to do with his life, then let him, you know? It's his life to live. Return to Ariani in Lowtown during the day to tell her that Finrod... Okay. So let's go to Lowtown during the day. Okay, so if we go here, this is the Black Powder Promise. I guess we can go.
No further, human. Tal-Vashoth control these passages.
I am more than capable of meeting any threat.
It's true.
So I see. I expected to warn a caravan, not a well-equipped tracker. The path ahead is littered with my kind. If you are as skilled as you look, it would please me if you killed them.
Wait, what?
You have turned your back on your kin?
Yes, for a second time. I did not like my role, so I left the Qun. I do not wish to be a murdering thief, so I left these Tal-Vashoth to warn their victims. You are no victim, so now I will leave.
Okay, I've been calling it the Kun this whole time. It's actually the Qun. And also, I've been saying Thetis, and I think someone told me it's actually pronounced Thetis. So I'll be trying to pronounce it as Thetis, but if I don't say Thetis and I say Thetis, it's just a bad habit that I gotta retrain my brain. Okay, so he says, you are no victim, so now I will leave.
If they have offended you so much, help me go after them.
But I am worse. They don't want to raise their swords for coin, so they murder and steal. They cling to the honor they held under the Qun. My sword means nothing. I will sell it and myself as mercenary. Kunare would say I am worse.
Do I really have to convince you to do the right thing?
I have already done more than was demanded, by my own choice. You have my word of caution, human. Heed it or do not.
The more they talk, the less I understand.
Yeah. The are attacking travelers, yeah, so I need to put an end to these attacks, if possible. Make sure that I save here. I saw it freeze a little bit, so now I'm concerned.
Get ready!
Alright, here we go.
Your mistake. What that was a lot of fun.
Alright, we can do it. Let's just keep doing this.
Let's make this quick! This deep attack!
I love that it hits both of them. Oh, so this reduces my damage, but it increases my damage resistance.
I can't do that.
Learned here. Messing with us is suicide.
Who has come so far? Kill them!
May the creators have mercy on you! I certainly won't! May the creators have mercy on you! I certainly won't! Rather than...
Curious.
What a waste.
All right. So we finally, taken out a lot of them, but let's go deeper into this Tal-Vashoth cavern and see if we can kill and destroy all of these terrible, Qunari that are just really causing chaos. It's unfortunate because I'm sure there's some good Qunari out there. Oh, it's a false wall. Maybe I can learn more about Qunari lore.
On your guard! Now you fall! Let's finish this!
Nicely done.
Okay, another false wall here. Yeah, I feel like those doors are well hidden. Oh, what happened? Step in some kind of trap? Another trap! Gosh dang it!
Let's finish this!
Okay, so those are all down.
Our demons or been hostile. We will not die. This goes on too long.
I love that I rush with my shield forward like that. Whoa. Oh, it's a mage. Man, I love my party. They're so helpful. Look at them, charging into battle.
Kill the lump. Bet that dwarf is waiting at the compound.
Okay, according to my journal, it says, tell Jarvis that the Tal-Vashoth are dead. Go to the Qunari compound by the docks at day. So, I have to go to the docks during the daytime, which would be here. Okay, so we've got to go this way.
Your mother?
I left my clan when I was a child, to become Marathari's first. I haven't seen my parents in more than 10 years.
I'm so sorry.
Wow.
My father died in the Blight. You must really miss them.
I remember my mother singing to me when I was a little girl and I'd get sick. I think that's what I miss the most. The Keeper has a terrible singing voice.
Alright, so let's keep it going.
Let me pass. I have business with the dwarf Jarvis and your Arishok.
The short mouth, yes. Enter if you must, Basra.
Damn, look at this dude. He is an imposing figure. The Qunari compound. Here it is. Ah, so this is where I'm going to learn more about the Qunari. This must be the location.
Ah, my right hand arrives. Summon your Arishok. The bargain is done. About time you showed. I've been here for hours.
Ooh, look at him, dude. Jesus. a tiny chair.
Illustrious Arishok, I am here to report that your hated Tal-Vashoth were felled, one and all. Right? Yes, they were. So, I'm ready to open negotiations for the explosive powder, as we agreed.
No.
He's not getting it. Say something.
The Tal-Vashoth camped at the Wounded Coast are dead. You won't honor your bargain?
There is no bargain to honor. His offer for the Gatlock was refused, so he invented a task to prove his worth, when he has none.
I broke my beard getting your outcasts killed.
But he still has his beard. Do you think it hurts?
Oh, come
You
on.
hired someone more competent and now stand in their shadow pretending it is yours. You demean his accomplishment. Get out of my sight before I bother lifting my sword.
Nevertheless, you have benefited from his action.
Do you think we are unable to hunt our own outcasts? This was interference, nothing more.
So I get nothing for all this work?
If anything, we have been denied the righteous application of the wisdom of the Qun. What payment should I exact for that? Go, dwarf, before I begin my tally.
Oh god. I don't know if I should pick a fight with these guys.
You may want to take this opportunity to go.
But he has to sell. It's a product. People want it.
There is no profit in empowering those not of the Qun. The means of creating the Gatlock is ours alone. It shall be dispensed only to our enemies, in the traditional manner.
You are a frustrating people. And you're fired. Sodding bunch of oxmen and doglords. A whole lot breathing smoke. Pah.
You will leave as well, human. There's no more coin for you here.
Dang. I did all that work for nothing? Wow, I did all of that work for nothing. But at least I get to learn about the Qun. I mean, it's not a total loss. Okay. So long ago, the Ashkari lived in a great city by the sea. Wealth and prosperity shone upon the city like sunlight, and still its people grumbled in discontent. The Ashkari walked the streets of his home and saw that all around him were the signs of genius. Triumphs of architecture, artistic masterpieces, the palaces of wealthy merchants, libraries and concert halls. But he also saw signs of misery: the poor, sick, lost, frightened, and the hopeless. And the Ashkari asked himself, how can one people be both wise and ignorant, great and ruined, triumphant and despairing? So the Ashkari left the land of his birth, seeking out other cities and nations, looking for a people who had found wisdom enough to end hopelessness and despair. He wandered for many years through empires filled with palaces and gardens, but in every nation of the wise, the great, and the mighty, he found the forgotten, the abandoned, and the poor. Finally, he came to a vast desert, a wasteland of bare rock clawing at the empty sky, where he took shelter in the shadow of a towering rock, and resolved to meditate until he found his answer or perished. Many days passed, until one night, as he gazed out from the shadow of the rock, he saw the lifeless desert awaken. 100,000 locusts hatched from the barren ground, and as one, they turned south, a single wave of moving earth. The Ashkari rose and followed in their wake, a path of devastation miles wide, and once verdant land torn to waste, and the Ashkari's eyes were opened. Existence is a choice. There is no chaos in the world, only complexity. Knowledge of the complex is wisdom. From wisdom of the world comes wisdom of the self. Mastery of the self is mastery of the world. Loss of the self is the source of suffering. Suffering is a choice, and we can refuse it. It is in our own power to create the world or destroy it. And the Ashkari went forth to his people. An excerpt from the Canto 1. I'm going to be honest, I don't understand the lesson that is to be learned. They were looking for a people that, they were looking for a civilization that had great and immense wealth, but also didn't have the poor and the abandoned, It's like every city has its homeless, you know what I mean? They didn't find an empire, so they went out into the desert. While they were in the desert, they saw a huge swarm of locusts that destroyed everything in its path. I don't see how those two things are related, but there was this bit of wisdom here, saying that we can choose to not suffer, and that there's no chaos in the world, only complexity. That was very confusing, I'm going to be honest. I don't understand the connections that were supposed to be made there. But, oh well. Okay. Right now, I want to keep on the Wayward Son, because I had almost finished it, but I wasn't quite there. So I need to return to oh my god. Return to Ariani in Lowtown during the day. Because I was so close to finishing that, I just hadn't quite finished yet. So let's go ahead and do that. And I need to go to the Wayward Son quest and let her know that her son decided to join the Dalish Elves.
You're so lucky.
How do you figure?
I would have loved to have a brother, and a mother, and an uncle. It must be wonderful. You'd never be alone.
It is wonderful. Although it might be better without Uncle Gamlen.
Did you guys like the way I was looking backwards that entire time while I was moving forward? Okay. Anyway.
Your son has taken refuge with the Dalish.
What? But he is human. They did not even wish me to raise him among them. But they do value magic more than the men of Kirkwall. Perhaps he can have both safety and freedom. As I said, I have little money, but this is a Dalish ring that has been in my family for generations. Please accept it with my thanks.
Good to see you again. Okay, there you go. So we completed that. We completed the Wayward Son, and the runed silverite ring. We obtained that as well. So maybe that would be a nice thing for me to wear. So fire damage, physical damage would be good for us. The silverite ring. I think this is much better than this one, so we'll take that there. And then as far as a belt goes, we got physical damage and mana and stamina. Let's go with the belt. Alright, so there we go. We just completed that quest, and we also were able to meet the Kun in this episode. I still have to go back to the Hanged Man, because I want to find that dang character that I'm supposed to find there. And I still haven't seen him or her. So, yeah, I think we'll end the episode here. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, we'll continue our journey. We'll figure out exactly what we're going to do next time. We have tons of rumors, main plot, companions, secondary quests, and even side quests. There's so much to choose from, and I have no idea what I want to do next. So all I know for sure is I'm not going to be doing the Deep Roads Expedition, because I don't want to exit out of this place, because there's a lot of things that I was told if you go into Act 2, then all of the other things that you've left behind, you'll never be able to do it again. So I do want to complete most of these like little side quests and things like that before moving on. So anyway, I think we'll figure out something to do next time. But until then, I will see you next time.